start. Yan. Hey guys, it's our I think third episode of Select Start podcast, and with me is Ju, and right now we have
Hi.
our second guest for our show. Uh, he's a he's been through a lot in the gaming scene. If you guys are familiar or you have heard of RobotRice, Open Time, PlayStation by iTech, and now ONE Esports. So, guys, let me introduce friend of mine, writer, and gamer enthusiast, Nigel. Sup, Nigel?
What's up? Thank you. Thank you
Yun.
for that.
Hi.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me, guys. I
yeah.
really appreciate.
Welcome.
It's been a long time. Last time I saw you was 2019. Yeah,
Yeah.
2019.
Pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic, and
Ah,
surprisingly, that given the pandemic, that most of us were just working from home. This is the time where most of the gaming picked up for everyone else. Like it became comfortable or somehow acceptable. Na oh, let's play video games, invest in video games, buy equipment. A lot of
yep,
people started to stream, do podcasts,
yep.
but it's very interesting that this is the age that there's no judgment, or it's fun to be a gamer right now. And I remember you started way ahead of us. I think what was the year you started gaming, like gaming from
In
with
terms of like
with
trying to
a
make something out of it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. In
In
terms of that, I was basically in like college pa in CSB at around
mhm.
like 2014, I think, and I met one of my older brother's close friends, Alfonso Martinez. That's where we got started on the idea of we should just do a gaming podcast. There are a
Yeah.
lot of indie, like small scale studios who are like looking for people to do content with, and we luckily were able to partner up with new factory media, I think. And
New Media
it's
Factory.
New
New
Media
Media
Factory,
Factory.
sorry, there NMF, I
Yeah.
just remember NMF. And yeah, from there, like we had a podcast for like 2 years with them, just doing games, mostly console games, variety games, like.
Mm-hmm.
And the architect was, we like Alfonso was in the showbiz industry din kasi because of his family. So we'd have some celebrity guests from time to time, and it was fun. During that time, yeah, like we got the ball rolling naman din in terms of just doing something with gaming. Like in that, like I was super surprised then. Like just for me, like I was trying to like make it as like a graphic artist. Pero yeah, like I always just was super passionate about gaming and I just wanted to do something out of it. Yeah.
And I remember you were sharing me stories of your time with Alfonso and Enrique in
Yeah.
Robot Rise. Especially, I remember this one funny story you guys had wherein you were eating McDo in during
Uh
the stream ata, yeah. How
yeah,
and then
yeah,
something
yeah.
came out of it. Something came out of it eh. What was that about again? Parang you got I think a sponsorship ata.
No, that's not
I,
McDo. That
ah,
was like I forgot the name of the store. I'm not sure if they're still there, but it wasn't. I forgot the name. But yeah, it's not McDo. But like we got a sponsorship out of just like, oh, we like your product and we'd like to like feature it on our show. And then they're like, oh, like I didn't know that you guys, because they would always just look into like new media factories like
mhm.
numbers and everything, and then they got interested. And then from there, like, oh wow, like just from doing a podcast, well, in our end, we were doing it just as a passion project, like how we usually do these things.
Yeah.
Like yeah, and then from there, like oh, they got interested, like yeah, and then in one of the episodes that we had, we just pimped the hell out of like all their stuff. I can't remember what the name is. It's been so long. Eh. I'm not.
Akala ko McDo. Or I think
I
si
thought you were
Alfonso
talking about like
ata.
the one wherein we guessed the Jesse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Going to
yeah,
your
because
celebrity episodes, I think you got Jesse Mendiola, Megan
yeah,
Young, and the one I saw was also Bella Padilla. So
Yeah.
how
yeah.
were the episodes like during the shoot and the reception after you guys uploaded this?
I'd say my experience with them was like super surprising because early on during that time, like what you were saying earlier, like most people have a different take on gaming. It's not that it's a waste of time, or like not that most people will be surprised that you made something out of like a career out of gaming. Or
Mhm.
you'd be surprised then how many of people in general are just like super enjoying gaming, even like before the pandemic and everything else like that. We had guests who joined, like, yeah, like the celebrities that you mentioned. They have their own interest in gaming, whether it's like console gaming or like PC. The most surprising for me was like Megan, because like she was like I was super surprised that she was like hardcore gamer. Like I think if you follow her social media, even up until now, like she's
Mhm.
partnered with Rumble and she's doing a lot of content in terms of gaming. They actually are like super addicted to like just playing games. They even have their own setup at home, or in like like couple setup with his boyfriend, I think. So yeah, like my takeaway is like I'm super surprised that it's not just only me. I always thought like, oh, there are only a handful of people who are like super into gaming, and I thought like I was one of them. Like
But during though like the two other celebrities, wasn't it hard to figure out na parang, oh, is she a gamer or what could we play? How did you guys prepare
oh,
when
dude, like
kasi, di ba, imagine you it's just the three of you guys and then out of nowhere, oh, we have a celebrity guest. So how was the adjustment knowing na is she a gamer? How can we interact with her?
I'll be honest, like I'll give you like I give you guys like a heads up on like how these things usually pop up. So Alfonso is close with a lot of these celebrities because he grew up in like showbiz and everything. Most of the times when we get confirmation that a guest is coming a day, 2 days before the episode goes up, because it's like, oh, it's only when they're free, you know?
Mhm.
So it's like we just pull whatever we can, like whatever. It's like, oh, what can we do that's fun? I remember like Alfonso was forced to dance on stream, just dance with I think Princess. I forgot her name. She might have changed her name now. Pero, like just stuff like that. When there are times where it's like we don't really know what we're gonna do because we have our show. If you guys like, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this car show in the UK. It's called Top Gear. Our
Yeah.
show has always been patterned by that. Parang there's a segment about like, oh, this gaming, and then there's another segment wherein we just talk about like news, gaming news, and then in the middle is the guest. There's a
Mhm.
big guest, and then at the end, end of the show. So whenever we plan these things, it's like, what do we have available to us now? It's like it's super fast. Like it was a rush, but at the same time, it's like every time we walked away doing a show with a big celebrity, we always just thought, I wonder if that was good.
You remember Bo what games you played for Jesse before Megan and I think Bella?
I remember we played Dota with Megan, and the
Mm-hmm.
funny thing is like she used our account on stream. So like we shot the episode with Megan like I'm guessing like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. at night in Makati. And then like the day after, like I woke up and I saw I had like 5,000 friend requests on Steam. It's because they saw the username that she was using, so they thought this was her. And I was like, at first I was, because I just saw the notification on my phone. It's like, hell? Like I got,
Ito pa yung
I'm
Zim, the Zim username.
no, it's a RobotRice. It's
Okay, okay, okay,
RobotRice on
okay.
Steam. So it's like I thought, oh, like I'm probably getting spammed by like invites for some reason. Maybe I got like a virus or something. And then I like slowly throughout the days, it still kept on like piling on. And then I don't check messages din kasi all that much. Eh. So when I saw, it's like, oh, they think I'm Megan. That's why. Holy shit. Yeah. Yun.
Wild.
If like sila, I think kay Jesse ata Counter Strike or basta it was a
Oh.
good episode and I think
I think.
Alfonso was sharing pa nga before na after Megan won some pageant
Yeah.
the views of the video went up super high. Eh.
Yeah. I think before she won that big pageant that she's known for, that was just a few weeks before we
Oo.
shot that episode. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, like it's crazy. I think with Jesse, I'm not sure what we played. I don't think it's CS. Maybe COD.
Ah,
Something
baka
shooter
baka
related.
something
I
shooter.
can't I generally can't remember.
So yeah, we're gonna find it and edit in the
Nah.
short clip. And then
Sige.
when syempre nandiyan na yung like the celebrities are coming in. So what happened to Robot Rise like moving forward? What was the
Oh, so
decision?
at that time we were 2 years in with RobotRice, and it came to a point wherein we got a deal with Smart actually for a long-term contract. It was one of the biggest deals that we were gonna get in terms of this project, because before it just like small things, like the thing that we mentioned before, like a minor sponsor for like a few episodes, and that's it now. Most of the episodes that we had, there were no sponsors. Pero for at the end of the 2 years, parang yeah, Smart got interested in like, oh, like we're looking into gaming, and we wanted to invest in you guys, like with this platform that you guys have, RobotRice under New Media Factory. And I think at the time Alfonso was tied down because he was under contract with Globe, unrelated to the podcast or anything else.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So we were forced to step away from the project. Obviously, like New Media Factory was not okay with, like Sayang, and
Mm-hmm.
because of that, and I don't know, like obviously the big pull naman there was the celebrities, and Alfonso was the one doing most of that stuff. So after that, we just decided, okay, since we can't get the Globe deal, sayang naman, this is what we were working for a while for. Like we just decided to call it quits. Nobody, we're all still good friends naman. Like me and Alfonso are still like cool. I actually still work really closely with Enrique. He's with tier one, like
Yeah.
with yeah. And then I'm still like the owner of the company now. They've transitioned into like they basically just shoot a lot of online events.
Mhm.
Yeah, Miguel Olfindo, just really cool guy. Yeah.
And to think, after this robot rice stint you got, you eventually landed another one. Eh. I think after
Yeah.
like a year or two, ba? And
I think a
how did it
year, dude.
start? Sige nga, how can
Oh,
you
sige, sige.
remember
Since you
this
want me to tell the story,
this
we have
part
this
na to?
mutual we have this mutual friend, me and Icon. So we have this mutual
And
friend.
for sure he's gonna listen on this mark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a mutual friend in Icon. He was the basically the technical engineer for New Media Factory for a while, especially for our show. So whenever we do our podcast, he'd be the guy basically controlling, the camera, the stream, because it's live streamed. His name is Pico. And yeah, so one day he just messaged me because he knew that okay, it didn't work out with New Media Factory and RobotRice. So he messaged me and he's like, "Oh, I have a friend who's interested in doing a podcast then." And that friend happened to be you. And I was like, okay, okay, I'm interested. Okay, like I know kasi like the reason why I got into the whole project with Icon with was it already open time?
Yeah.
We never
Oh.
changed it. No, was that the first
Yeah.
name, ba?
Never changed. Never changed.
Never
Yeah.
changed. Okay, yeah, because I remember we had like so many different names. But yeah, so with the project with open time, I got into the project with that because my experience with Robot Rice is kasi Alfonso naman is like I love the guy, but like he's not plugged in to like all of the other people who are like the console gaming. I wouldn't say he's snobbish. I just say he has different tastes and he sees the things differently. When I got to know Icon, I knew like okay, like like this is a person who's like an every guy in terms of like gaming. That's what I liked about the project. That's why I was like, okay, let's do it. And every time we go when we formed Open Time, I always told Icon that parang, yeah, this is this, make sure that when we push together, like this is still your project. I'd be game to do whatever you have as an idea in terms of content because I've tried our content with Robot Rise before
Mhm.
and it was good naman. It hit a certain audience, pero again, if you remove the celebrity aspect of that, I think it would have been, it's super slow. It would have moved super slow. So yeah.
And it was an adventure. I remember during our time during the logo creation, ganyan ganyan, we were thinking, what who can we feature for our first episode? Kasi I remember 2017, we had the logo, we had the name, we had the social
Yeah.
media pages, but we didn't know what to shoot, where to shoot, and
You
who to
wanted to
shoot.
go big. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
big
wanted to go
agad.
big. Eh.
And
Yeah,
then
big.
parang out of nowhere, okay, we got a referral, shoot a load, yeah. So
Oh yeah. Like I
very
think that
memorable.
was yeah, that was
Very
from your side.
memorable.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
very
very
memorable.
memorable first episode kasi we featured her at Game Over to play
Yeah,
Resident Evil 7
yeah,
VR.
yeah.
VR
VR
and you had to shoot it wasn't published pero you had to shoot part 2 with Alodia and unboxing the Nintendo
things
Switch.
and playing
Diba?
the
And
Switch.
playing the
Yeah, but like
Switch.
I wasn't playing the Switch.
You
Yeah,
were
but like
the
the
unboxed
yeah
part. Yeah, yeah. The
unbox
unboxed
part. Yeah,
part.
because I
It
was
was
new pa then.
I think ano, days before, days after it released This was
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
very first version. And I remember we got to watch Alodia play just a bunch of new Switch games. And then we didn't even publish it. And it took like a month to publish
Because
the
yeah,
Resident
short
Evil.
story about like the whole thing. We got into the open time project basically really short-handed. It was me, Icon, and what we thought was gonna be Pico because he was like invested in the project. So
Mhm.
what happened with the like I just say it how I know what happened is like Pico basically had to bail for some reason. I don't really know why, but it basically became like a two-man project between me and Icon.
Mhm.
So
Although,
we
Pico, man, you're still the best.
yeah,
Hopefully, you
yeah.
get to
No,
hear this.
I don't know
Nakamiss ko
what
rin,
the
yeah.
reason was. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know what the reason why is. Like, I'm not blaming anyone, but it's like, um, it was just like you and me. So it's like,
Mhm.
it took us a while to get our bearing naman then because like we jumped into this project with the best of intentions, but we didn't really plan it out properly. If we're being honest, like including me and Icon, we didn't really plan it properly. Like we knew we had the passion to like continue the project, but in terms of like okay, video editing, I know a little bit of video editing. I was the one who video edited the Alodia
The
episode.
Lodi episode.
I was also the one who video edited the Nintendo one that
That
didn't
didn't
get
come
released.
out. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd go to Icon's place pa to edit because I didn't have like a my computer was like crapping out at with me at the time. So yeah, like we struggled during the early days talaga, but we found a way to make it work kahit paano.
Yeah. And ano pa yun, we got like a few more guests pa after Alodia. We
Yeah.
did some things and then we unboxed some things, got some things, and then eventually out of nowhere, di man out of nowhere, but somehow we landed this deal or partnership with PlayStation. Yeah, it was our big break. I think we were like 4, 5 members in na dito, di
Oh
ba?
yeah. I think you
Yeah.
fast forward a little bit there. Like I think through our time shooting a lot of episodes with I think guests. Some guests got interested in like being part of the project. I think it was Sam.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sam, and
I think
then
we
we got
shot
ano pa
Evil
ba yun?
Within with her, and then she got super interested. And
Mm-mm.
then from there, like we had a lot of different contact. I mean, again, I fast forward like, and then from there we had our. I think we were still shorthanded, so I asked one of my friends who was contacting me when I was doing RobotRice, and he was interested, and I was like, "Oh, I have a new project now," and this was Cholo. Cholo is like super cool guy. We worked
Yeah.
with him in open time together with Justin, and we did a lot of good things naman din with open time. And then from there we got a deal with PlayStation, right?
PlayStation. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And super I think we were adjusting at first and then we got our big break with our first what was our first Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Man release, yeah.
Can you were you able to recall kamusta like how ano yung feeling when we got our first big break with Spider-Man? Imagine we were tasked to create this event and it was the same day with NBA 2K,
Yeah.
2K19. Yeah, and we
Same day
were
release.
you did promos. I remember you wearing like the hoodie.
Spider-Man hoodie, yeah. So I this thing popped up wherein I think what's the name of the store? PlayStation by iTech.
PlayStation by iTech, yeah.
They asked us to basically have a campaign to help sell more copies of the new Spider-Man game. I can't remember what the name of the game is, but if you can
Marvel,
remember, there's
wait, Spider-Man ba?
Spider-Man for
Marvel,
sure.
but basta it was Spider-Man at first, diba?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sobrang
And
nakakamiss.
then
And it
yeah.
was unplanned kasi
Yeah.
what we did was we encouraged the store to have this cosplay contest for us
Oh
to win
yeah,
a
that was
collector's
our
edition.
big yeah, that was our big pitch. And then their big surprise to us was like, oh yeah, we're willing to give away a collector's edition. Magkano yun? Like 8K?
Around
More than?
8K.
Yeah, around 8K.
8K.
So it's like us were surprised na parang I thought we just give out like a free copy, something like 2-4 worth 2-4. And then as soon as I heard like okay, we're giving out a collector's edition with the statue na
Uh-huh.
spoiler at the time. Um yeah, like super surprised. So we asked a lot. We pulled in a lot of strings in terms of our cosplay friends, cosplay community, PlayStation gaming community. Na hey guys, we're doing this contest. So if you go to PlayStation by iTech in SM North EDSA,
SM North
no,
EDSA, yeah.
yeah, the in costume in your best Spider-Man costume, and you have your photo taken by us, you have a chance to win a limited edition, collector's edition Spider-Man game, right?
Game, yeah.
I'd be wild.
And
Like I
and
remember,
and the
yeah.
and the thing that was funny kasi there were so many amazing costumes. Someone uh even had the parang iron spider, I think, and he had props, like he had friends to
Yeah,
put
yeah. No,
up
I
his
was about to
costume.
say. Yeah, I was about to
Di
say.
ba
Like
parang
this is
he came from Laguna ata or
like came from
Batangas.
Laguna, took the bus with a group of friends, and he had like a full, like it was like a full team project wherein he couldn't travel with this costume on the way. Nah, he had to have his friends help him put together the costume at the end. They were like that invested in winning the contest. But at the end, like we got surprised because we didn't just just to explain, like we didn't get to pick the winners. We wish like we could have picked the winners, but obviously like the store picked the winners for us because we just showed them the pictures and then they said, oh, this one. So
Yeah, and the
yeah,
one who won
the
had a
one that
basic
won.
Spider-Man costume. I
And
remember
he
his,
came in like super late.
yeah,
Like
super
there's
late
some
parang
people, we were there in the store since I think even close to before the mall being up. Kasi
mm,
we had to like be there early to talk to the staff because even the staff didn't know what was happening. We had to tell the staff of PlayStation by iTech, hey guys, this is what's happening. We're having a contest. And then yeah, like we were there up until the mall closed.
kasi
Kasi
I
we waited for like
remember,
everyone.
grabe,
Yeah.
yeah. And the funny thing pa nga was the one who won. I'm not judging his creativity, but he had a basic Spider-Man costume, and then he rolled up like tissue, tapos tinali lang niya dun sa hand
Yeah. And then
to
like it
make it
looked
look
like
like web.
spider web. Yeah.
And he won collector's edition. Sobrang wild. Sobrang funny. And I remember we had a friend. If you're listening, shout out Richie. He went to the store
Yeah.
with just the mask.
Richie. Yeah,
Just the mask.
yeah.
And
But he
nandito lang
came there to
siya.
buy the game din eh.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, he like two purposes, yeah.
Pero that was one of our crowning achievements and one of our like accomplishments kasi for us to like create that one so
Oh
quick,
yeah.
so
Oh
quick.
yeah,
And
for
then
sure.
aside from that, like go like just a quick recap outside our PlayStation gig. We also remember this 2007 2000, I think mid 2017 we organized the Dragon Ball tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure. That was fun. That
Yeah,
was
this was
fun.
very fun kasi it was our first time like
Hosting a
very
tournament.
limited, yeah, very limited budget, and then we had to contact like members of the fighting game community. Tapos we had to rush everything, get sponsorships,
Oh
get
yeah,
like
like it was a
get
fucking
people to cover. Yeah,
story, I swear. Like it was
grabe.
a roller coaster talaga because at the day of the tournament pa, I remember we were getting messages saying, "Hey, you're not allowed to run this tournament because you guys are like
Oh,
charging money.
yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
not Namkai Nam
Bandai,
whatever, like
Bandai.
Bandai Namco is gonna pull the plug on your tournament and like stuff like that." But at the same time, like we didn't really have net at the spot.
Oo.
We were supposed to
Imagine na
stream it.
parang we were supposed to stream kasi we had shoutcasters hired,
Oh yeah,
and
we
then
hired
on the day
shortcasters.
itself, and I think on the night before, that's when the place told us that hey, we don't have internet, so make it work. how how can we make it work? And
We
then,
yeah, we've
di
been
ba?
working like how long days before this tournament because like we pulled in who is this like the toy collectors,
Yeah,
uh
yeah. Funko
yeah,
toy,
Funko toy
Funko
collectors stuff,
sellers,
and
yeah.
then yeah, and
We
then
got new
like
era. We got new
yeah,
era
new
caps.
era. Yeah, we gave out stickers and caps and stuff. We have like game over then, and I can't remember like who else was involved, but there were a lot of
Mhm.
people that were working with towards this ano. And the day off we came in, it's like, okay, are we ready to stream? We brought like equipment and everything. We brought cameras, we
No
bought
internet.
mics. Yeah, and then like by the time we get there, it's like, oh, we don't have net pala. And we're
And
like,
there was
okay,
another
fine, like we'll just
challenge. Diba? There was another challenge I remember na one of the fighting ano yun, FGC coordinators told us that we can't use like big inch TVs because of the frame rate, diba?
we can't use
Yeah,
like flat screen, like the big inch flat screens because
grabe.
they want the frame rates to be faster because they're gonna end up experiencing lag while they play. Yeah. So we
And
had to
that
like
was a very
switch.
big
Yeah.
issue, diba?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good thing Game Over had like small TVs,
Yeah. It's yeah.
and it's funny kasi we were so chaotic during the event, but we pulled it off and we got ano yan? I think we got into Reddit. They
Ah, I
showed
didn't even
clips.
know about
Talaga,
this.
hindi ko ba nasabi sa'yo? Parang
No.
we got on Reddit na parang the first Dragon Ball tournament in Manila hosted by Game Over, and then I had a friend write us for, I think, on
Oh
Geek.
yeah. I remember that
Yeah,
article
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. I didn't know about the Reddit, but
The
yeah,
Reddit
that
was funny, grabe.
that
Imagine
for me,
for a
yeah.
bar, yeah, for a bar to host the first Dragon Ball tournament in the country. I think the country
Yeah.
yun so it was
Yeah.
a big. And then
I'd be surprised if there's other. I mean, no, I'm pretty sure there are like playbook. I know they're big in like fighting game
yeah,
tournaments and stuff.
oo,
Yeah,
naunahan pa
yeah,
natin, 'di ba? And then
yeah,
going
yeah,
back
yeah.
to PlayStation, we also organized the NBA 2K19 tournament. It was very also chaotic.
Oh yeah, this is my
Like,
set. Like for me, this is my second 2K tournament. I remember we helped host the one in Ronak. Do you remember
mhm,
that one? Like,
yeah.
I remember like we recorded all the games there and we were supposed to stream it, but they also didn't have net at that time. That was my time pa with RobotRice. But
Uh-huh.
our NBA 2K tournament, I think this was in Game Over then, diba?
No, no,
This was
the
in the
SM North.
mall.
Yeah, SM North. And
Yes.
then ano, it had
Ah,
no
yeah,
rules,
the I
but
know the I just remembered now. This is the one in the amusement thing. It's part
yeah,
of
the
the
arcade.
arcade.
The
Yeah.
Genki something ganyan.
Yeah.
And parang we
Oh,
were
yeah.
required to host a tournament inside the arcade, which was very super layo niya from the entrance. So no
Yeah,
one
yeah,
would
yeah.
know that there's a tournament ongoing. And
Yeah.
then the rules were so, how can you say, super
It's
lenient.
yeah, because like
And
people had to like sign in day of it. So it's like, it's very surprising. Like by chance na lang talaga you find out that this tournament is happening in some back the back of an arcade. It's an equivalent of like a power station, diba? Or like a
yeah, yeah.
time zone. Parang ganun. I can't remember. Yeah, it's but the name of the amusement like the arcade is Genki something.
Wala, we just like
I
recorded
remember
like
the
photo video
yeah.
coverage kasi
Yeah.
naalala ko we were laughing na parang every every player was using Golden State. So
Oh yeah.
Warriors versus Warriors. And
Oh
then the
yeah. Like
championship was Warriors versus Warriors. So alam mo yun, parang the winner I remember took home like a brand new PS4
yeah.
and tons of freebies.
And
Sabi
money.
ko,
Yeah, money.
and
Prize
money.
money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
prize
money.
money.
Sabi ko, that was so easy. And then after that, oh, I remember before we were promoting the tournament, we were also promoting the game with the help of Perea Street.
Oh yeah, we recorded content with them and we went to their studio in Makati. They're super
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
I think this was the time that they were so big in Instagram, and then we wanted to take
Yeah.
advantage, and then we
Yeah.
played like 2 quarters, diba? 2 quarters with them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yun nga, parang as much as they were super like cool and super viral on Instagram, it didn't really translate kasi the video was uploaded on Facebook eh. And so like a
Yeah.
lot of Facebook people didn't
It's,
know Perias.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, like my experience with that shoot was like super fun. They were super nice,
Yeah.
and they enjoyed, even though like I can't remember the name of the guys. I just remember like not all of them were into 2K, but like they had such a like open, like they were so fun that like they, even
Mm-hmm.
though they've never played 2K before, they were like enjoying it. So yeah.
And then after that, our last bit with PlayStation was promoting Red Dead Redemption. Yeah,
Ah yeah.
you remember that na parang we had to like
I
create
had
create
to wear
skits. We did
yeah.
skits, diba?
I had to wear a cowboy costume pa with for that. The
Oo. And
the mall,
then
and then you guys shot me like wearing like cowboy
cowboy
hat
hat.
and
That
like
was good.
yeah,
That was good. That was good.
yeah,
Kasi I
yeah.
remember parang on the day of release, we even did a live, like we did the Facebook live, just for people to see how many customers were going in to buy
Oh
Red
yeah,
Dead
that was good.
Redemption.
That's actually was a really good idea. People were like super tuning in to see like, oh, like is there a lot of copies? Because like, this is what we enjoy. I
Oh,
mean, enjoy. This is what we all go through whenever there's a new game that came out. This is before people just had like their game shipped to their house. Eh. We'd go to like Data Blitz or like any other store just to get our copy. But if it's a big game, you never know if you have a copy for yourself unless you pre-ordered. So people will always just go to the stream and ask, is there copies pa ba available? Like yeah,
and
like
parang
let's
people
stream
were
this.
asking also na parang, are there still freebies, ganyan ganyan.
Yeah, is it R3? Is it R1? Yeah.
Nakamiss na parang it was one of our achievements talaga na for us to be able to reach and be partners with PlayStation na mismo eh. Parang it gave us like confidence to like create more talaga.
Yeah,
Kasi
for
I
sure.
remember after this was like before the pandemic started na parang you guys got to shoot pa with DJ Big Boy Cheng.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
that was
yeah.
a very cool episode. That was a very
Oh
cool
yeah,
episode.
super super nice guy. Like I wish nga na para we could do more videos with him in the future, pero yeah. Like he's still super big in social media right now. Like yeah, in terms of when we did that episode we're in Laugh Trip pa nga, I'll tell you like a story.
Mhm.
So a lot of our friends actually watched that episode. And I was the one playing 2K with Big Boy. And we were just like talking about like, oh, what's your history in gaming? What's the stuff that what are the games that you played when you were young, and then what's gaming to you now? So he's like sharing about, oh yeah, I played like the fun cute games before, like Mario and stuff like that. Whatever it looked like, he said whatever looked cute, it intrigued him and made it fun for him. But now he's more interested in the games that his kids play. And as like he's explaining this, he's having a hard time playing the game and talking at the same time. So like the score, you'll notice the score in the game is like getting like, okay, he's tambak by 10 and he's tambak by 20. And our friend Rahu was like giving me shit for like, oh, why didn't you keep it close? Why do you make him tambak? And I'm like, I kept on like trying to make it close then, pero he was really not focused on playing the game anymore. He was just like explaining a lot of
Mhm.
stuff. I think it was a bad idea to have him talk and play at the same time. A lot of people like have that a hard time with that. Even for me, like I've
Uh-huh.
tried streaming games from time to time. It's hard. You experience this too, diba? Like when
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
playing and streaming, it's like it's hard to keep your train of thought when you're having a conversation with either it's online with someone and then you're still concentrating playing the game. It's hard.
Hindi ko alam na parang it's also like a job to stream.
Yeah.
Kasi like years ago, we were just thinking, oh, what if we should stream or parang we should focus like or like content creation talaga. And to think right now, streaming is still big kasi what we were
Huge.
doing back in 2017, there was not much streamers pa nga that time compared to now that it's so big, 'di ba?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
parang I'm surprised na hopefully like the local PlayStation scene can like immerse themselves into streaming or somehow give chance kasi I know there's some like groups like us na PlayStation gives them review codes. I think review digital codes eh. And hopefully
Yeah.
one of these days, man, you hope to reach that kasi we miss the fun times with PlayStation, diba? the fun times with PlayStation.
I'd say the main goal, just going into like going back all the way back when me, Alfonso, and Enrique, the goal with Robot Rice was mainly sana we get to go to E3 and we get like press passes so we can go. It was the same goal when we got together and did open time. Our goal was still the same. Sana we go
Di
to
ba,
E3.
di ba na Alodia, niyaya tayo ni Alodia. Alodia invited us to go to E3. And
Yeah,
she's the
she was
only one
like,
who went.
"Oh, you guys want to go to E3? Let's go together. Tara, let's make it a trip." And I was like, "Oh yeah." Super nice. I swear to God, she was super nice. She was the one like
Grabe.
going to us and was like, "Oh, is it
Oo.
okay if I add you to Facebook?" And she's like handing us her phone. Like super nice person talaga.
And now she owns Tier 1. Napakagaling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, with your two projects, how is your transition? Now I turn it over to Ju.
Oh yeah.
Kasi now, I think when did you 2019 you got this current gig, no?
Yeah, I was still in with open time by that time because I was already
Yeah.
juggling both. Because I started out with open time at the time was just mainly a passion project. At the time I was working with open time, I was still working for my dad's company, which was
Mm-hmm.
a engineering firm. So I wanted to get out of that, so I saw like a friend recommended me as a writer even though I have no writing background. But the thing is, they know na I know the games that they're asking to cover. This friend knows I have a background in esports because I was a pro player for StarCraft for a while. That's his name is Clive. So yeah, he referred me to someone who was looking for a writer for ONE Esports, and then from there they gave me a freelance contract wherein I do, I think, 30 articles a month. Yeah, and then from there it just like, yeah, and then from there it just kept on picking up, and then like, oh, like my 30 articles became 50 articles a month, and then it became more and more, and they were like, oh,
Grabe.
like, yeah, and they were just like, oh, like you're doing a lot of great work, like we'll just full time hire you. I'm one of the few people nga who they actually full time hired from the Philippines, because most of the people that we work with are based in Singapore. It's just me
Mm-hmm.
and my other coworker Christine, who is basically not contractual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ever since
So yeah.
signing with ONE Esports, I think I can share that you're mainly a console guy. So can you tell
Oh,
us how did you adjust from console gaming to PC gaming?
Yeah,
I
kasi
keep
imagine
on going
mo,
back
di
and
ba?
forth. Yeah.
RobotRice, Open Time, and then the PlayStation by iTech. So, syempre, you were juggling like PC gaming and then console and
Mhm.
then PC. So, ngayon, how was your transition?
It was different for sure. To be fair, I've been transitioning to esports, to console gaming, to esports. Like, to be fair, like it's probably just like all there at at the same time. When I was like in high school, like our close friends know this. Like I've been big in Dota since before, but even before Dota 2 and everything else, and I'd play with our all of our high school like during my time in LSGH, our high school friends. I'd play whatever games that everyone was playing during that time, and I at the same time I'd be playing console games. And then I transitioned into like I got super into StarCraft and I got good at it enough na a team was interested in like picking me up. The biggest thing I achieved in that was like they invited me to Atlantic City in the States to play a in IGN's IGL
Mm.
Pro League. Pero like
Mhm.
that's another big story for like another day. Other than that, after that, that's when I transitioned into console gaming na lang, because it always, for me, it speaks in valleys. Like if I get super interested in like a really competitive game, I'm there for like a while, and then like if I hit my peak na, I go back to console gaming. So that's always been my thing. So my time with Robot Rice and then open time, I enjoyed all these things because it was super chill, and I was transitioning then to, doing work while playing games at the same time. I couldn't dedicate myself into like playing a competitive game like I used to before, because I had to do other stuff like real world, like life stuff. And
Mhm.
Oh.
then by the time I got hired by One, all of the stuff naman din that they were asking me, oh, could you cover this tournaments? Oh, do you know these
Mhm.
pro players? Like, yeah, I still keep in touch from time to time. Not I know them personally, but it's like I follow their careers and everything. So by the time I had to write for One in terms of, you know, like coverage and everything else, just it was just there. I mean, yeah, like I had to refocus myself into covering those leagues, like basically Dota 2, well now Valorant, Street Fighter. Back then it was Fortnite. Like it changes then. Dami. I used
Mhm.
to cover a lot of stuff.
So, for speaking about gaming journalism, can you share with us how is it like yung environment? How's the culture?
Oh, this is a fun topic for me. Like just my background is like I think Icon knows this naman. Then I have no background in writing at all. Like my editors, my head editors, basically took the time to teach me how to do journalism 101 from the start. They just knew I knew the games. I knew the pro
Mhm.
players. I knew like all these strategies that they do and everything else. But in terms of like journalism, like I knew nothing. They taught me like the upside down pyramid, all that stuff. Like, oh, like if you're
Korean.
covering a story, make sure in your
Important.
headline, the first two paragraphs, that's what the headline is. And then like if you want to tangent into like another topic, like go ahead. But like now, like writing journalism for us then is constantly changing. I'd say my transition into journalism now, if anyone's getting interested in journalism in terms of gaming, lalo na for esports, it's brutal. Not because it's difficult, it's because there's so much stuff happening 24/7. You know, like I've worked
Mhm.
out like 20-hour shifts sometimes. I don't know if there's a tournament, because
Mhm.
I'd cover the tournament early. Like yeah, there was a time like if anyone follows Dota 2, we actually hosted one of the majors, one of the biggest tournaments of the year, ONE Esports Singapore Major. So my responsibility for that was I had to write, you know, because we got into fantasy esports for this
Okay.
time around. So I had to write articles based on like, okay, these are the matches for today. Who do I think are gonna win? So I'm writing articles to help people make their picks for their fantasy. And then at that time, after that, I had to write about recaps for the tournament itself. After each match, I'd have to write interviews with the pro players after. And at
Okay.
the end of that, I'd have to write recap, like day recap for the whole event. So like it's like four
Grabe,
interviews there,
yeah.
like yeah. And then on a
And
normal day, if there's no tournament,
hmm,
so like you never know when these things are gonna happen. Wherein like a
Mhm.
team decides to change their roster, a player decides to like ruin his career by saying something stupid online. We cover those things, so it's like, oh,
talaga, okay.
I'm working on this thing, and biglang something happens, like okay, add that onto my to do list, and add that onto my to do list. Like it's brutal, yeah.
Pero yung these topics that you write, mostly I think tama ba if I understand, but these are the esports scene like international. How
Yeah.
about were you able
Mm.
or how is it different from writing like on the local esports side? Like the local teams, how if
We
let's say someone says something weird,
Oh
ganun
yeah.
din ba?
So it's different for us. Actually, there's somewhat of a, I guess, blessing in disguise working for ONE Esports, because with ONE Esports they're big in like values, lalo na like if you're like they're big in just personal family, you know, being the best you can be type of values. So
Mhm.
if it's a story about like let's say a pro player said some really bad stuff about this other pro player, like let's say for an example, like making fun of like something that they're not supposed to be, like let's say religion or family,
Mhm.
we stay away from those things because we
Okay.
don't think it's good value. Like they're not upholding the values that we uphold, so there's no reason for us to give them um like, you know, publicity in that sense. um in terms of like us, like, you know, naman here in the Philippines, like a lot of the stuff that happens in gaming, it involves drama, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, so most of
Like
the
how
time
what kind of
wherever,
drama? Ito ay local to, like local to.
Mhm.
just being toxic,
Oh,
like we
sige.
don't promote
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
just being toxic, like, you know,
Ah.
like
Mhm.
there are a lot of the biggest game that we cover now is Mobile Legends, pero in terms of, you know, like we still cover the stories, like we just, let's say someone said something, depending on like how big the name is, we
Mhm.
still cover it for sure, but it's like we don't say exactly what they say. We try to like just share what they're trying to say without getting in the nitty gritty. Like, yeah,
But you
yeah.
like overall, how can you compare, or is there a difference, or what are your observations when it comes to like gaming journalism abroad and here? Kasi for example, like what we're doing right now, like we release like with news bites. Pero have you seen like local articles, and how is it like when you write for like big events? Parang
I
how is it different from a local versus like international standpoint?
I'd say the local, yeah, for sure they focus on like the local stuff. Like if it's Filipino story, Filipino driven stuff like that, they focus on that. Ours naman is like we focus on like whatever is just big. Like
Mhm.
for Valorant, we always cover North America. I've actually interviewed a lot of North American pros, like really big names. In terms of Dota, it's same thing. Like in whatever region. If it's Mobile Legends, we focus on like Southeast Asian countries. I think the local scene in terms of journalism, yeah, they cover talaga like what will get people from, like let's say I don't know, like I know Inquire has an esports division right now. Like yeah, like
Okay.
like Mobile Legends teams, TNC Predator, like stuff like that. They cover them immensely. For
Mhm.
us it's like whatever the biggest story is, who won this tournament, who like the biggest highlights, the biggest partnerships, stuff like that. That's what we focus on.
Gets.
So, with the esports world, did you ever think or did you ever wonder how it got big to what it is now? And what do you think the future of esports world be like?
Oh, for me, like I've been like I think I'm qualified to like talk about like how the esports basic scene basically grew, because before there was an esports scene, I was like already watching tournaments about like the first big Dota 2 tournament and stuff
Mhm.
like that. I'm very surprised how big it's gotten. Like I've talked to a lot of game developers like from Riot and everything else that they always say the biggest growing market in terms of esports is Southeast Asia, our region. So I can only see it growing more. Like the international now, which will be happening in October, when it has a $40 million tournament prize pool. That's just
Well,
for one
Oh.
tournament. Yeah.
mhm.
So yeah, like I can only see it getting bigger. Lalo na like there's more people, there's more sponsors coming in. There's more companies getting interested, because you can't deny the numbers that they're pulling. I think for I can't remember the numbers for our event, like ONE Esports Singapore Major. I think we pulled in 400 million viewers, maybe more. I
Wow.
can't remember.
Uh-huh.
There's a PowerPoint presentation somewhere that I saw. I can't remember. That entire period of time for me was a blur because I was working like so much. But yeah, like whenever I see these numbers where in tournaments are being like like how much viewership a tournament is pulling in, surprising. And then you add in streaming, like in terms of these
Mhm.
pro players
Mhm.
streaming, it's huge. It's just it's like helping each other grow.
Ikaw ba? I remember when it comes to streaming, you shared a story with me before na some of like talents from One started to stream. I remember there were fighters, diba? You shared the
Ah,
story
yeah.
before.
That's a partnership with like Facebook. Yeah,
Okay.
the One Championship, the basically the bigger company basically above One Esports. We're under One Championship kasi. So a lot of these fighters naman din, they're big into gaming, whether it's fighting games or like first person shooters. So some of them like just started streaming na rin. A lot of people naman din, I think this was during the time the pandemic happened din. I know so many people who just started streaming because of the pandemic, to be honest.
I think di ba si
Yeah.
Brandon, si
Brandon Vera,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He plays, I think, Mobile Legends, but a lot of them play, I think Call of Duty.
Warzone.
Yeah, I think
Warzone,
Warzone.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So sa dinadami ng kino-cover mo, which among of them is your favorite so far? Pinaka memorable for you?
Oh yeah, for me the number one game I'm playing right now is Valorant. I play a lot of it and I'm really just trying to like get better. Like the highlight of my basically journalism career I'd say is like these big names because I used to play CS:GO.
Mhm.
Actually CS in general, Source 1.6, 1.6 Source and then like CS:GO. Like this has been a game I've been following playing since I was like grade school and I've been always trying to be good at it. And by the time I joined One, I told them like, okay, like we at that time we didn't cover first person shooters because that's also part of the values that One has. They didn't want to cover first person shooters because they thought it was a violent. Like we didn't cover
Oh,
like violent
okay.
games. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like they had this rule wherein if it's like shooters, anything involving real guns, we don't cover it
Ah,
because
real
it's
guns. Okay,
yeah
okay.
because like the owner of the company kasi is very anti, like lalo na at the
Mhm.
time there were a lot of like mass shootings and stuff like that. They didn't want to do anything. They didn't want to have anything related to like any type of gun related game. And obviously like our for on the side of One Esports, we've been growing and growing and growing, and we've been telling them, you guys gotta help us, and you guys gotta let us cover shooting games because this is a big aspect of gaming. And then they loosened up. So when they told me, okay, you can cover Valorant, I went all out on that. I basically have been invited to all of the early access demos for
Mhm.
whenever there's a new map, there's a new agent, because of One, I'm always included in those things. Kulit nga in one of the early access things,
Hmm.
uh, I was like thrown into a match with Christian Bautista. Like
Wait,
he
the
was on the
singer?
other.
Wait, the
Yeah, the
singer?
singer. Yeah.
Okay.
He's very much into it, into the game, playing the game. He was playing with another celebrity, I just don't know. I
Mhm.
can't remember the names because I don't know celebrities all that well. So yeah, like he's new to the game naman din, but he's like super interested. Eh, like we've been playing the game for like a long time na, and then they for early access din kasi they give early access codes to pros. So
Okay.
he got thrown into like this match with like a bunch of pro players and a bunch of like media journalists who play the game consistently. So
Mhm.
like like yeah, kawawa. Like he got yeah, like he was basically asking, oh, could you guys like ease up? I mean, no, in a nice way naman. I was telling my team
Uh-huh.
naman then, like, guys, like, just chill. It's not, you guys aren't, like, trying to try out for, like, a pro team. Just take it easy.
How
Stuff
did
like
he
that.
get how did he get a code in the first
When
place?
I got interviewed kasi, like, there's the, the, the head of Riot Games for Southeast Asia. I got to interview him recently. His name is Justin Hulog. He's Filipino then, the
Okay.
head of Riot Games for Southeast Asia. And he like when I was interviewing him, he told me na parang he has some celebrity friends then who asks for early access. And yung
Okay,
pala,
okay,
he's
okay.
close friends with him. So that's how I found out. I was like, oh, okay, I got to play him nga. Yeah. So from there, yeah. And he's like a lot of like celebrities then, like it's not just Megan Young who's streaming games on like on Facebook or on Twitch, huh? Like there are a lot of other celebrities who are streaming now.
Like,
So uh I don't know big name celebrities din kasi,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I just know there are a lot of them. I just can't remember like the names. Like that one guy, Louis something. I not no, not the super famous one, but he had a team kasi with him eh. I just
Uh-huh.
don't know their names. I know he was playing with this other streamer. I don't know if she's celebrity or not. Ariana, I think it was her name. She's big on Facebook gaming,
Oh,
I think.
parang I remember this last year during the peak of the pandemic. I played with this bunch of streamers. There was this Facebook group called Lasal Taft Gaming Community, and they were
Mm.
just posting randomly. Just parang there were a group of like I think 3 to 4 girls. They were looking for random people to play with them Fall Guys.
Yeah,
I was bored at that time, so I got to play with them. I remember
yeah,
that Ariana name. We were randomly playing Fall Guys.
yeah, yeah,
Sobrang
yeah.
random. Yeah, yeah. It's parang they had a Discord channel na super daming tao. Super daming tao. And all were just the people of Taft, parang ganyan. So parang
Yeah.
uh, magugulat ka rin na there's so many streamers right now na could pass as like a local celebrity na rin eh, no? Do you
Yeah,
guys,
yeah.
ano ba? Do you guys cover then like those big
Streamers.
streamers? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. If it's a big name or the biggest ones that we cover in terms of like streamers now, if they were a pro player before and they're a streamer now, or if even if it's like
Okay.
a big name streamer, yeah, we'd cover them. Lalo na for Warzone, I think ever since like they've lightened up on the we can cover guns now
Mm-hmm.
in gaming. We've done a lot of Warzone content in terms of just like, oh, this is the pro player. I mean, this is the streamer's loadout for Warzone. This is this is the best loadout for like this gun. I personally don't know Warzone, but I've seen the articles on our site a lot of times. Yeah.
Grabe, no? Now, before we let you go on our like third episode, we always ask this bonus questions na
Yeah.
parang like anticipated games ganyan ganyan. But since nandyan ka sa like esports scene, give us like your top five like dream people to play. Like let's say you're gonna play your favorite game. So who would be your top five teammates, like local or international, like streamer, celebrity, ganyan? Just give us your dream team.
Oh yeah, for me, my dream team, like without a doubt, I'd always include my girlfriend, my better half, Kat, in that team. Yeah,
Hi,
just
Kat.
a big shout out. Yeah, hi Kat. Um, the other for the rest of the three, I'd say Shroud. He's a former
Mm-hmm.
CS:GO pro. He's one of the few North American pros. I know, actually, no, he didn't win the major, but he's one of the biggest names in terms of like
Mm-hmm.
gaming, and he's one of the biggest names in Twitch right now. He's super famous. The other person I'd say is I'm basing this off of just like a Valorant lineup I want to play with. I'd say Tens right now. Tyson
Mm-hmm.
Tens Ngo. He's like Canadian player who is the best Valorant player in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd wrap that up with the last one I'd say Siguro is Hiko. He's basically
Okay.
the another former CS:GO pro player who's somewhat my age, but he's making it work. Because in gaming, if you're are like my age now, like somewhere in the 30s, like you're considered an old man. Nah, you can't really play that well anymore. Like you're gonna get steamrolled by like 16, 17-year olds who are like just their gaming sense is just better. But yeah, he's one of the pro players where it's like he's old but he's still making it happen. So yeah.
Are we that old? Oh my god. Alam mo, like,
Dude,
I miss competitive gaming. Even like just multiplayer. Kaya
yeah, just yeah.
kaya ako I'm waiting for Battlefield. Like I want to go back to like killing people online. Nakamiss. Like to
No,
take off stress.
the one I like about like that game is like even if you separate basically esports and anything else like that, I play Valor. It's like playing basketball. You meet so many people just playing basketball
Mm-hmm.
on weekends. Like just yesterday, we were playing 5-on-5 custom. So basically, 5 people in one team, 5 people in the other team.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've met so many, whether they're young, old, people in the industry, outside of the industry. Like they're all fun. Like we're actually planning on holding like just a fun tournament nga, with a bunch of other people that we just randomly met just by playing the game. Yeah, that's that.
Kahit ba ano, kahit even if like we're in our 30s, do you still trash talk?
I don't. I get trash talk, pero like I try not to unless they're toxic. Pero I only get like stressed out a lot with the stuff I do with work. I try not to get stressed out whenever I play. So whenever people are like toxic, I just mute them.
Because I think the last time I heard you trash talk, we were even playing Destiny pa nga eh. And it was a
Oh
raid.
yeah.
Raid and you were just parang trash
Oh
talking
to
kasi you were you
to
were you were you were getting disconnected eh. And the Rahu was getting disconnected and he
to
gets all
to
the
to,
exotic.
to be fair, that if I'm playing with a group of friends, I don't think that's being toxic. I'm just being fun. Like we have this friend Dino. Shout out to Dino. Love you, dude. Like we'd always play Destiny, and everyone in the team would always have responsibility to do this one thing, and he'd always not be able to kill his dog. Not a real dog. There's a dog in Destiny in the raid wherein you had to kill all the dogs for in a short amount of time, like Watch Dogs, so that the next door would open, and like it was fun. Like our Destiny days. I wish now we could continue. I know they're
Wala eh.
playing Final Fantasy 14 now. Are you not
14.
interested in that?
Ako,
I know Raul
I
told
want.
me, yeah, like I'm game. My thing naman talaga is like I wish I had more time to do all these things.
Ayun, I got it installed just a few hours ago.
Oh, yun. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Like
game
bring the
talaga to
boys
try.
back, dude. That's fun. I
Yeah,
love
kasi
that.
I think when Destiny came out 2014, ito yung parang ano natin like just getting by with our day job. So I remember we will all be present online at around 9 p.m. and then
Yeah, yeah,
do a raid
nine,
until
eight.
1 a.m.
Yeah, yeah,
Grabe yun.
yeah. People would pass
Grabe.
out like, oh, why isn't this guy moving anymore? Oh, he fell
Yeah,
asleep
yeah
na.
kasi grabe yun, nakamiss yun, nakamiss yun. And then again with our like ender question, since we're now in the next gen, like with the PS5, the
Mhm.
Xbox Series X, and even the recently announced Steam Deck. So for you,
Yeah.
Nigel, what are your like top five anticipated next gen games, whether it's console or mobile or PC? Give us your top five.
I'll be honest, I haven't really kept up with console gaming. I don't know the next gen stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'd say off the top of my head, I'm really interested in the next God of War because it's jumping into like a brand new. I mean, it's not really a brand new thing. We've seen the Norse thing, like like we got teased so much in the first game. Na
Yeah.
okay, like like spoiler if you never like played the most recent God of War, like at the end they're teasing a fight between Kratos and Thor. So like I'm interested to see that. Lalo na the game hasn't been shown in a while. I'd say is Horizon Zero Dawn out now? Not yet, diba?
Out na,
Not
but
yet.
the sequel, yung Forbidden
I
West.
Forbidden West.
Yeah, Forbidden West
Ah, I
named the
I'd
sequel.
say I'd say that game is in my radar because I played the first one and I thought it was super well made. Really, I enjoyed
Horizon
it a
fan
lot.
down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, I enjoyed the first one so much. Like the lore, the world. Like I love games like that. They were in. You get you get a sense like they tease you with like what happened in the past. Yeah, like
Mhm.
I love that stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, last three. I don't know. I've stopped getting interested. Like I'd say Battlefield just for the sake of the same thing that you mentioned earlier. I love playing with people I know. That's what I get with Valorant now. But like I know for a fact not a lot of people play Valorant. So if I can like get reconnected with the people I used to play like Icon, a lot of the online games I did before, it's always been fun whenever we play. So I expect
Mhm.
nothing. Yeah, it's the same thing. I expect the
Yeah.
same thing when we play. So I'd say Battlefield. I like what they've seen from what they've shown us. I'm not really that interested in Call of Duty all that much anymore. I think I've grown past that.
Mhm.
The last two games, I'm not entirely sure. Like in terms of exclusives, for you, like what are the games that you're interested ba? Like
Sige, just to
I'm
give you an
completely blank.
idea, for sure I'm waiting for like yeah, God of War, and then Battlefield also, Final Fantasy 16. Like we're growing old. We're in the 16th
Come
installment.
on. Like how many times did we get like baited because like okay, we're releasing the new one now and then like oh,
Yeah.
delayed, oh
But
delayed,
but but 16 is being developed by the team who revived 14. Kaya there's so much
Mm.
hype kasi these are the 14 guys. So I am a believer of 16. Uh the next Mass Effect game, with the
Yeah,
release of the
right, right,
legend
right.
with the
They
release
they
of the
tease.
legendary edition, grabe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just
hopefully
teased
they'll
that
tease.
before, eh. Yeah,
Yeah,
they said
hopefully
that they're
they'll
working
tease.
on it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and coming from BioWare also the Dragon Age 4. Yeah, so those are my
Ah,
ano talaga
yeah.
top anticipated games. Kaya you have two more, you have two more. Kahit mobile pa yan or PC, man.
I generally don't uh play any type of mobile games naman din kasi PC, I don't know eh. Like for me, actually no, I have one.
Yeah.
The one game that I saw from I think E3 that I'm really interested in playing, yung Forza. Forza, the new
Mm.
Forza. It looks
Mm-hmm.
fun eh. There's just like sandbox world and then you're
Ganda,
just
yeah.
driving around. Yeah. It
That
looks
was the
enjoyable
one.
for
That
me.
was one of the trailers that got us shocked for the Xbox as a whole. Ah.
Yeah, I
when they
was
ended, parang yeah, grabe
yeah.
yun.
Kasi
And
like
your
lalo
final
na
one, di ba?
yeah, throughout the years, Gran Turismo medyo let down for like
Tagal
a
na.
while na. So it's like I don't know what I'm missing out in Forza. I know a lot of people are playing that game, so yeah,
Mhm.
I'm interested. Last one, I don't know actually.
Sure,
Uh,
meron yan.
there's
Could
an
be
oh,
like Elden Ring, ganyan-ganyan. Or,
actually Elden Ring, pero I'd say I don't have the patience to play that. You know, naman like we've been through Nico,
Neo.
Neo. We've
Yeah,
Mhm.
been through
yeah.
Neo. We've been through all these things. Like, what's the most recent one that we did? We attended that thing pa by PlayStation,
Kayo
Sekiro.
yun. Sekiro,
Ah,
yeah.
yeah.
Kayo yun.
Like
I was stuck with my day job that
it's
time.
it's that those games are fun, pero grabe.
Yeah, you're gonna
Ah,
stress yourself out lang.
yeah. I mean, I'd be interested to play it naman din, pero in this like age of my life na rin, parang maybe, pero I'm not looking for like I'd be lying if I said I was looking forward to that. I don't know. Eh.
Yeah.
I'd say a new RTS sana, like something like a new StarCraft,
Mm.
something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something fun. I love PC games that it's basically top down. You know, like you played Battle Realms naman din before, diba?
Ah,
Something like that.
shit. Yeah,
Something like
yeah.
that. Like something a game that's basically you're building a base and then you're playing against other people and then you know something like Warcraft 4, like
I'd be happy for
sana.
a new Red Alert. I'd be happy with a new Red
Yeah,
Alert.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Not something that will be out on the phone na remake lang.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's gaming. Pero
Yeah.
yeah, and here we go. This is Nigel. It was a fun. This was a fun episode. And
It was
uh, ikaw, if do you have any like final thoughts or final messages for us for our listeners?
look,
How's everything in gaming so far?
I mean I'm in a place wherein gaming for me is like 24/7. I enjoy reconnect like you know like there are times wherein I dedicate certain days to like friends and family. Like I enjoyed this. I really like getting to reconnect with people, lalo na if it's not outside of work because I always feel like I'm in a bubble whenever I'm in work. So I enjoy all these things. My message to the people who are like that naman din is like, you know, like I know everyone's struggling naman din with the pandemic and stuff like that. I just hope everyone's doing well. Like, you know, like gaming helps a lot, I'd say, in terms of, you know, helping with your mental.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you, Nigel.
All right.
Ju,
Thank
ikaw, final
you.
thoughts with
Thank you.
Nigel? Yeah.
Thank
So
you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you
and
for having me. I really appreciate it.
that's Nigel Zalamea, writer for One Esports, who's been an adventurer for like
Yeah.
7, 8 years in
If
gaming.
if anyone actually has any tip like you know like wants guidance in terms of I get a lot of messages where it's like oh how do I become a one esports obviously I can't like just get you guys a job or anything else like that but if you guys are looking for like tips on like how to do certain things I'm welcome to like you know talk to you to people about that stuff naman din lalo na from me I didn't really have a background in gaming so yeah
Yun. Yeah,
I mean gaming
you
I'm
can
sorry, writing
you
I have a background in
can start from scratch. So
yeah yeah yeah
we'll leave Nigel's like social media handles if
yeah
anyone's willing to like learn or get some
yeah yeah
best practices. So again, this is our Select Start podcast. It's Icon and Ju. I hope you enjoyed our third episode. So this is Nigel again,
thank you
and thank you
guys
guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
bye
Whew.
guys